if it was against Man City, is Jesus coming that deep?
Impossible.
Exactly. So why did you feel the need to come that deep?
Antonio just targeted Holding as well. It was just like, bruv, we know what you're doing, but you know what?
Yeah, I don't know what the Premier League stands for anymore, bro. If your record can just be broken like that in the first season ever. Nobody's ever done that in the first season ever, so...
Yeah, no. What Haaland's done.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, De La Strada, the man of many club faces. And today, we're a bit light, joined by my fellow pundits, starting from my left.
Your boy Joey, Liverpool's finest, Peckham's finest, Croydon's finest. Hashtag extraordinaire. Congratulations, hashtag for winning the league. I'm just here to support my team in it. So yeah, lovely.
Cool. Over to you, Stripes.
Yeah, man. I tried to call in sick today, but yeah, man, my employees didn't allow it.
They saw you post on Instagram.
Yeah, so when I tried to put the sick voice on, they just replayed me my stories back and said I need to report to work immediately. I'm an Arsenal fan. It's been a hell of a season, man. It's been a hell of a season. It's been a hell of a couple of weekends as well. And I'm not looking forward to discussing it, but I guess we're going to get into it.
Yeah, before we go into it, let's do some admin and let you guys know where you can find us. You can find us on all major platforms. That's Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud.
We're even on YouTube.
But have we even got anything on YouTube?
We have, you know?
Yeah.
What is it? All episodes are up on YouTube.
Have you watched it yourself on YouTube?
Yeah, no, I've seen it, but I've
Was it a full episode?
It's a full episode.
Yeah, a full episode, but it's like a black screen. And
Yeah,
it's got
a play symbol or something like that.
It's a play symbol.
I might try listening on the next episode on that then.
Well, you got YouTube Premium? Nah.
Yeah, I had it for a month and then I cancelled it.
It's the same, but I brought it back.
It is good though. It is
It's too
good.
clean.
Just download stuff and watch it offline.
Yeah.
You can find us to interact with us. You can find us on social media. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter.
Yeah, those are like the main three. To be fair,
Main three. I really should know what the actual address is, but hopefully they're in the descriptions.
Yeah, man. Podcast.pundits on Insta. Podcast Pundits _ on Twitter, and then just Podcast Pundits on TikTok. Yeah, man. Podcast Pundits, man. Search us, man. We're out here, man. We're flying.
Flying, baby. Cool. As I said, I'm a man of many club faces, but I think this weekend I was hurt, man. I was hurt. Watching the Arsenal game. Yeah, my babes are like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Don't worry, man." But anyway, Strauss, let's start with you. You know, what was your thoughts going into the game? What were you feeling when we went 2-0? I said Arsenal went 2-0 up.
No, listen, I hear you, man, because I was in a similar position where I watched the game with company, and all of a sudden it was like, "What's the matter with you?" And I was just like, "No, I'm all right. I'm okay." Why do you keep asking me that question? I'm okay. And, expecting me to be upbeat, but it's just tough, man. Football has that effect on you.
Why do you lot lie when they ask you what's wrong?
You know what? I don't think I lie, but I just don't want to get into it. I don't want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And then after, is it the football? I said, yeah, it's the football. Shut up, man.
Yeah, okay.
Well, do you know what Chris will do as well? She's like, I'm like, why are you feeling some type of way? I was like, because it's Arsenal playing. Arsenal lost. They're shit anyway.
Bruv, and they think that's the time.
But no, but then I'm like, have you seen the top of the league? Have you seen the league table? Then she goes, actually, Arsenal are quite good. I'm like, yeah. And I'll be honest, yesterday was probably the first time where I was like, I ain't gonna lie, for a long time, football's not really bothered me, as in like results. I just get on with my day.
Yeah.
But bro, we was having dinner, and I was still thinking about the Saka penalty.
No, you know what? The football can make you do some crazy things. To answer your question, going into the game, I think I said it last week. If we beat West Ham and beat Southampton, no one's going to care about the Liverpool result. So obviously, I went into the West Ham game expecting it to be a little bit tricky. And it's easy to say with the benefit of hindsight, but no, I genuinely thought it might be a bit tricky just because West Ham fighting for their lives. It's a London derby. The connections and the link with Rice. I don't know if that was reasonable reason to be concerned, but I just didn't think it was going to be a walk in the park. And then I was so happy to be wrong. When we were flying in the first 15, 20 minutes, 2-0 up so ASAP.
So 7 minutes and then 10 minutes were the goals times.
7 and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh my, that Jesus, that goal, that's now, put me in the in the lead with my little side bet that I've got with a Paul fan, Jesus and Nunes. Everything was going good. The way Odegaard took his shot, the techers, it was going brilliant. We were walking the game, and man, damn, I don't know what happened. It's just like all of a sudden, it's like we just got so complacent. We got mad complacent. We just expected to walk it, and I feel like we lost leave of our senses. Like we forgot that this is the Premier League. We were naive. You know what we look like? Actually, we look like who we are, the youngest team in the Premier League. Just a young team that's just naive. Like, and Partey, he I feel like he started this. He started off the sequence of naivety, and I'll tell you why I think
spread after him, innit?
Yeah, but he was unfortunate. I'm going to touch on this a little bit as well, in the sense that he's an idiot for trying to do a flick over Rice's head. Like, I don't know why he wanted to be so disrespectful.
But you say that he was just playing his normal game, but I think he was just a bit too relaxed. And bear in mind, West Ham weren't really pressing.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, you don't expect Rice, because Rice plays the same role as Partey, right?
Yeah.
Rice shouldn't be that
Big
far
gap
ahead
between the two. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's poor that he didn't anticipate it, but I'm not too harsh, because that's how Partey plays. He how many times has he played and he feints to do something, then gets Arsenal out and they play forward. So in that moment, but yeah,
in that situation though, he usually has a good picture. He didn't look up at all, and then the worst thing about it is that he had a poor touch. Then he tried to recover with a bit of magic.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was just shield the ball. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, just cover the ball, and there's no way Rice is going to get through you.
Yeah.
So, like you said, that complacency, that's where it started. And
yeah, it was definitely
spread like
complacent.
wildfire.
Yeah, exactly. And naivety. But what I will say, though, in his defense is, I saw it there and then, and I was in a WhatsApp group where I said, Rice handled that. That's going to get overturned. And I think even the podcast Pundits boys, you guys were saying you didn't really notice the replay, or you didn't notice it at the time.
Yeah, we didn't see it.
But me, I saw it dead on, and I was expecting the goal to be overturned. And even when I was discussing earlier with Marley Marl, who's normally at the table, he said this.
So you were discussing football with Marley Marl, he's not
yeah, I don't
Crazy.
know. Yeah, when he decides to come back, he can address that. But yeah, he said the same thing, that he's expecting it to be overturned. So when I say it to be overturned, because obviously we then conceded the penalty from that, and I just thought, no, there's no way that's going to stand. But obviously it stood, and the penalty got slotted, and that to me, that annoyed me, because, and I don't know if you guys are going to try that violin nonsense again, but you've heard me on previous episodes talking about the injustice of VAR across the board, but namely where Arsenal's concerned, man, it's really, really cost us, even the position we find ourselves in. Like, we have to be perfect for every second, every minute of the game, because we don't have competent officials and refs. And then, look, we get into we go into the first half 2-1 up.
But that's before you speak on the second half.
Yeah,
I was watching the game. I was watching the game. I'd only started watching it when Arsenal were 2-0 up, and I was watching. I was like, they're moving the ball way too slow.
Yeah,
way too slow. It's just like, what's this? And I just knew it was a matter of time before West Ham got involved in the game, because sometimes when you play football, yes, you want to kill the game up, but you still need to pass with purpose.
Yeah. And
Arsenal was literally passing side to side, side to side. There were no forward passes. And I don't know whether it was because Jesus was dropping so deep.
Yeah.
That when Partey gets a ball, who's he looking up to?
Yeah.
Odegaard gets it, who's he looking up to? And then I just didn't understand with that whole sequence of play, if he's dropping that deep, Xhaka's gone to left back because Xhaka's gone to left wing. Tierney's playing inverted.
He tried to do.
So it's like, Jesus, you don't need to be here. And Arsenal, you're not playing forward. So let's be real. If it was against Man City, is Jesus coming that deep?
Impossible.
No. Exactly. So why did you feel the need to come that deep?
Yeah.
Is it because you thought the game was that easy that you can just come, touch the ball and no?
Yeah.
So it was a bit slack.
What about Jesus though? I think that's, if you don't put tight reins on him, he does that, and that's what he's been doing all season. That's why I've been heavily critical about him. And when Nketiah came in, it was a bit of a breath of fresh air for me, because it's like he overcompensates for his lack of goal scoring exploits by just kind of like showing heart and running till it hurts, isn't it? And it's so jarring because like you said, he was on Ben White's toes when Arsenal were in possession in their own half. What are you doing there, bro, man?
Yeah. One of our listeners, B-Man, he mentioned that to me earlier on, actually, where he said that he was just reflecting on the game, and he said just that, like Jesus was dropping in too deep, and he wondered if I place any blame on him for that. And as a similar to Joey, actually, that's his game. Like, that's his game. However,
not that deep.
It's not. Yeah, that's where I make you right.
Halfway line,
yeah.
max. Well, or edge of the centre circle. I'm not having any.
Because if you're doing that, what's Partey doing? That's Partey's meant to be that deep. Even Partey's not even that deep.
Yeah, true. And then, like you said, there's no one to hit. Who you playing the forward passes to? Hence why we was playing side to side. It was annoying, but then obviously you got Tierney that trying to do the inverted, and he was doing it reasonably.
I was laughing when I saw him in the middle of the pitch because it just looked like
he was trying.
A blessing. That's all.
Exactly. So I think maybe like Jesus has maybe looked up and seen that, and I don't know what he.
But you're not the manager. Maybe I don't know whether Arteta said anything, but bro, you're not the manager.
Yeah,
you don't need to be dropping that deep.
Unless he said like when he does that, then maybe Martinelli or Saka fill in.
No, he wouldn't have said that.
Exactly, because you didn't see it. So there's no way that's a tactic. So that's why it's just like that naivety that football at that level shouldn't be displaying. It's annoying.
Because even in the home fixture, you saw what Nketiah did. Nketiah literally had their centre-backs pinned back.
Yeah.
And it just gave the space for us to play those balls forward.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, no, I make you right there, man. I make you right there. But that being said, he would not have come off for me. He would not have come off for me because he still looked like he was one of. First of all, Arsenal find ourselves in this position because we have players like Jesus that bring that mentality of just getting across the line, like when the going gets tough, winning, whatnot. I say that, and then he did also make a silly little unnecessary challenge and got himself an unnecessary yellow. And maybe Arteta didn't want to. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, just hacked at a player just for no reason.
But as a striker, isn't it like a relatively low risk of your attackers getting 2 yellows?
Well, you just don't know with these referees these days, man. A late tackle in your gut.
Yeah. But if it's at the expense, like Strive is saying, of somebody who has experience in getting stuff over the line, surely.
Yeah, but then
is it worth the gamble? Then he misses that against Man City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And I personally still would have maybe kept him on. I might have made that gamble still, but I don't blame Arteta for that at the same time. But it's just when you look at the whole picture, because at the same time, like as we were... sorry, I feel like I'm just conflating bare different issues, but as obviously the game's progressed and whatnot, the substitutions being made, I feel like... I did wonder why Saka was still on the pitch, and this is my guy, man. Bukayo Saka, that's my dude. Like I've gone on record talking very, very highly of Homie, but since the international break, man, he's been trash, bruv. Like he's been trash.
You said that his stats aren't that bad. I think he was like maybe he's still in the top 5 of goals and assists.
What, since
goal
contributions since international break?
Yeah, since international break.
Well, maybe it's the standards that I'm holding him to.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. But in terms of his stats, it did look decent from what I saw.
Okay.
A little infographic on that.
What, since international break?
I think it was since international break.
But watching him, man, he just. I mean,
is it
since international
4 goals
break,
and 8 assists?
But since international break, didn't he was rested for the first game back, right? I can't remember what he done in that.
Does 4 goals and 8 assists sound familiar?
Since international break, impossible. How long's the international break? It was only like 3 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Sorry, international break. Sorry, I don't know. I thought you said World Cup.
No.
Yeah. Okay, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Since international break, he's just not been a guide, and obviously he's got the penalty. The penalty, he stepped up for the penalty, and I'm not going to lie to you, I thought he was going to slot it. And you never listen. You see that at the level that the Premier League player. Like that's like when Mo Salah even missed that penalty against even Arsenal. You don't expect players of that level to not even hit the target. So when that happens, you just start to wonder, like, are you nervous? Like, is there something else going on internally? Because we can't see what's going on inside. So when you take a penalty like that, it just makes you think, okay, this is a bit more serious than we thought. Like, I don't think that we're meant to. I don't think that we're meant to win this game potentially.
I thought that was a harsh penalty.
What, to concede?
Yeah, against Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, so
I did kind of feel like a sense of justice when he missed that penalty. I'm sure West Ham fans will be feeling the same as well.
Well, you know what? Potentially. I never looked at it that way because I thought to myself immediately, cool, like you shouldn't have had a penalty because Declan Rice handled the ball. We've got a penalty. So, yeah, man, it's unfortunate because Saka's obviously missed that penalty and then...
Sorry, that was the question I had. So, what do you think about Gabriel in that situation? Do you feel like that the kind of confusion just spread from Partey to Gabriel? Because that challenge was it was so unnecessary.
We ain't really seen a maniac moment from Gabriel for a while, innit?
Yeah.
I did think to myself, I knew it wasn't. It can never just completely vanish, but I did think, oh, that's a bit of a
because it kind of like
bit of a days.
It was moment. A bit clumsy because he didn't actually like slide tackle. He just kind of like fell.
No, he was going to slide, but then he tried to pull,
and then he connected with his knees, innit? Yeah. So that was like.
I think it was soft though. I think Paqueta was sort of looking for it, but
no, definitely because he left his leg in there, but the contact he knew the contact was coming, so that's what I thought. Like that's a bit rash considering how like calm and good you've been.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, it was a little bit of a like, but I don't think that's anything to worry about. I don't think that's going to follow him through. You know, I mean, he's been like exemplary most of the season, but obviously those with agendas will be like, oh, okay, the bozo moments are back. But no, I don't.
Do you think maybe him playing alongside Holding is a bit unsettling for him?
Even just the way Antonio just targeted Holding, like as well, it was just like, bruv, we know what you're doing. But you know what? I think Holding hasn't been terrible when he stepped in, but. You can see where it's affecting
the liability.
Yeah, you can see where it's affecting us.
I don't think he's been terrible, but I think it's just kind of highlighting that he's not good enough.
Yeah, 100%.
And as much as you want him to kind of like show that he's come from Bolton and he's like come up to the levels, you can kind of see he's not at the level of a league champion, but I think he is the level of a club that is 5th or 6th.
You know, I saw a clip of him like earlier on, where he burnt Sergio Aguero, like played City. This was like years ago, and I think this was before he got one of his injuries or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He was decent.
Yeah. I think he was. He had something to him, but was it a knee injury he had?
I can't remember. It's not what the injury was, but I just know that it might have been because he lost a bit of pace. He used to be a lot more comfortable on the ball as well.
I think he had a quick acceleration.
Yeah.
And I can't see that at all, man.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't look this.
On that, there was a bit where, I think it was Ben Rama, he went shoulder to shoulder, and I was like,
yeah.
You couldn't even, and Ben he looked small. I was like, God, man.
Yeah, man. So, but it's just a lot to do, man, because we got Southampton next. I personally think Southampton's one of our bogey teams.
Yeah, but I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, sometimes you just accept that things just happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And then if you win, you win. If you lose, you're like, losers just accept defeat as defeat. Winners will be like, okay, we lost, but why did we lose?
Learn from it. Yeah.
And you just learn from it. And you're hoping that based on Arsenal's running last season, fair enough, it wasn't going for the league. It was just going for top 4 where they bottled it and they fell off. You hope that they just literally
it switches on.
They switch onto that and say, you know what, guys, we're still in a comfortable position. It's still in Arsenal's hand.
Yeah.
And then they just say, they just focus on the mental and it's weird. It's like they just have to start enjoying it again because I think they're playing with so much pressure where it's like, just enjoy it. Because if you went to Liverpool, you went to Anfield, you're winning 2-0.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on. Switch off your mentality and change your mentality and say, you know, let's just enjoy this.
Yeah.
I think it's whether Arteta and the youngest team in the league has the maturity to deal with the upset, because it is upsetting.
Yeah, but they did it last season. That's what I'm saying.
All it is upsetting because, like you said, they're still in the position where it's in their hands, isn't it? So, do they have the foresight or kind of like the oversight to see that all it is just a bit of an upset?
Yeah,
I trust. I see like Saka's. I see Saka's apology, and when I first saw it, I was still angry. I was like, "Shut up, man!" But then I woke up and I was like, "You know what? We would not even be here if it weren't for you." You know what I mean? And when I saw it, I said to myself, "You're gonna arrive back on the scene,
100%.
with venom, venom." And he will.
He is.
I'm telling you, bro.
Saka's mental is elite.
No, it is elite. But
yeah, I'm telling you, this guy is gonna arrive back, and I'm telling you, we're gonna hopefully, like what Del Estrada's saying, this could be maybe some sort of blessing in disguise, because the two draws that we've had now, I know you're waiting to just jump in and say something. Like these two draws that we've had now, we wanted to have them later. Like we wanted to maybe have them with a Brighton and maybe a Newcastle, so to speak, but we just can't do that now. And each time when we've had blips or where our back's been up against the wall, Arsenal's responded. And this is not the same Arsenal from the season prior or the season before that. So all the rival fans that are, happy and thinking, oh, you're so doom and gloom, what have you not? You guys are you've bottled it already. This is not the same team. I think we can turn it around. Like I personally think we can turn it around. I am getting used to, like I was very confident that I'm going to be at the parade, but I can't lie, my confidence got knocked a little bit. But I am still quite confident that we can do something. Well, we can do something.
Yeah. Liverpool just conceded the dumbest goal. Konate just made a bit of a howler. But anyway, I think Saka has the elite mentality to turn it around. The only problem is that he now has to turn it around with monster of man Haaland being in the worst form for Arsenal.
Well, I personally think, if God have mercy, if Saliba's back, Arsenal are winning it.
Is that potential?
I hope so.
Because that is the game that Saliba is born for. Because Haaland can't really handle like a VVD or a Saliba.
It's crazy because man's been trying to looking for clips of him training, bro. I can't find them anywhere, bro. Saliba, I can't find them anywhere, bro. I think we need to just get over it. I think we're not going to see Saliba until the end of the season. We may not even see him full stop.
Bro, because if it's holding,
oh my God,
he wants to battle all the time. And Haaland will, okay, cool, let's go.
Can't thingy play.
Hold on.
No,
in the FA Cup, Holden didn't do terrible.
He did okay, but he only played
one half. He had to get
he had to get hooked. Haaland was biding his time, bro. He was biding his time, bro. But So while that game was going on, I had an argument with my friend in it because shout out Manny Ando in my Liverpool group. He was I was saying there's like, you have to watch, be careful. Arsenal have to be careful with West Ham because there's loads of similarities between West Ham and Liverpool. People are saying that their team is shit now, like they can't do really anything. But this is the same team that was performing last season, same as Liverpool as well. And then, funny enough, they go on to be 2-0 down, and he said, "There's no way." He called me an idiot for comparing. He said, "You can't compare Liverpool and West Ham."
No, you can't. There,
you can,
especially at Anfield.
Do you know why you can? Because they both had the same dead.
Yeah, but Anfield ain't. What's West Ham's ground?
Then they went 2-0 down. Both teams went 2-0 down, and they both came back from the 2-2.
Yeah,
and then he ended up apologising.
I heard that, but the difference is Anfield 2-0 versus West Ham 2-0 was a sloppy.
I think if you watch the games, I wouldn't have said it prior to the game, but if you watch the games, I think like you said it, like the passing looked laboured.
Yeah, it was Arsenal.
Yeah, so I think if you watch the game, you're like, oh, this has got a bit of Liverpoolish.
No, the difference, Liverpool put the pressure on Arsenal. That's what Arsenal's game changed.
But remember the first goal they conceded was from Declan Rice putting the pressure on
No,
Arsenal.
what I'm trying to say, but if Arsenal were playing with the same rhythm and momentum, that's not happening.
Is that how Arsenal were playing against Liverpool? Did they
No, I'm just saying Liverpool put the pressure on Arsenal's game changed. Arsenal's game with West Ham, it wasn't
changed
West Ham.
On its own. Okay.
Yeah, because Arsenal just became lazy.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Sorry, one more thing. What I will say, that when that laziness sneaks in or creeps in, it's hard to get out of the system.
Yeah, that's why you, when you play football, you can't switch it on and off. It has to just be this level all the time.
So how do you think they would get that out of the system?
No.
It's reared its ugly head twice now.
As I said, the West Ham, the Liverpool one, it's Liverpool. The West Ham one, that's self-inflicted. And I think you've learned enough now to say, you know what, we can't do this again. And it's in the game, it's difficult to switch your game. But now you've taken a break, you have your training. Southampton smashed them.
But you know what as well, though? It's a little bit alarming for me that we've always had a break in between. Well, we had a break between when we played Liverpool, and a break when we played West Ham, and both teams were playing like every 3 days. West Ham played on Thursday, so both times is unacceptable. What do you think kind of about Arteta, like where he's kind of publicly criticised the? Let's say criticised. He's questioned the mentality of his players. Do you think he's doing that to?
I think it's a rallying call.
Yeah,
it's just a rally your players. Yeah.
Well, Pep called out KDB.
Yeah, true. And then
sometimes you just got to do it.
And then Xhaka and Odegaard basically came out and said it's not a mentality thing. We're up for this. Yeah, basically.
I don't know, man. Xhaka.
No. As I'm saying, from the experience of when you lost against Newcastle last season, hold on to that and move on.
Yeah, no, there's a way. For me, Arteta's got to show where he can be counted now, because if you guys have always reminded me, there was a time when I was ready to see Arteta out of the door, because at this particular point, I want to see, can you lead us across the line? And he's got a chance to do it now.
Listen, man, it just makes for an entertaining title race, man, and Jota just banged in it, so I'm glad to see him on the score sheet, man. I know this is about Arsenal, but we've had it.
Yeah, I think I don't want to talk about them anymore. Let's move on to Arsenal's closest competitors right now, City. Go on, Joey, you can talk about City if you want.
Okay.
3-1 win. Was it against Leicester?
Yes, Leicester. Yeah, so I was watching this in the studio, doing a bit of work at the same time. You know, like every time City play, you kind of pray for them to just have a little bit of a banana peel, but they like show you that whatever power you're trying to use isn't strong enough early in the game, bro, because they were powering differently, man. They were moving crazy, and it could have gone on to be 6, but I think Pep done that thing where, you know, like we need to rest players for Champions League. Is that this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So resting players for Champions League. So he hooked off Haaland, who probably could have got
hat-trick.
Another hat-trick as well. 1 goal away from breaking the record.
Yeah, he equaled it on the weekend, innit?
Yeah. So like in my head, I've been saying, at least he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna get 36 goals this season. And then I just clocked that it's not even 36 goals. It's 31 goals, isn't it? So. I don't know.
That's what he needs to break.
Yeah, I don't know what the Premier League stands for anymore, bro. If your record can just be broken like that in the first season ever, nobody's ever done that in the first season ever. So
what Haaland's done, he's shown the Premier League no respect whatsoever, man.
Yeah, I think the game was kind of a tough one. There's Leicester kind of came back into the game, and the second half was a decent performance, but I don't know if they had a decent performance or it's just Man City just took their foot off the gas.
But you see, they took the foot off the gas when close towards the end of the second half.
Yeah,
Arsenal taking off in 20 minutes of the first. That's the difference.
15 minutes. 15
yeah,
minutes.
imagine that's the difference. You know, you need to be killers.
I think again, Leicester I think Leicester have a lot less in their tank than West Ham for me, even though both teams have been pretty bad this season. The goal for Leicester was an amazing ball as well. I don't know if you guys saw it, where James Maddison wrapped the ball around their centre backs, man. Honestly, there's nothing to report here other than City doing City things, man. They're scary, man. They're scary. Even the fact that when they took off Haaland, they still looked a bit scary until they kind of like took their foot off the gas, like we said. I keep on changing who I think is going to win the league every week. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I think I said I can't see past Arsenal. This week I'm saying I can't see past Man City, bro. Because all I know is that the game at Etihad between Arsenal, was it next Saturday or next Sunday?
It's midweek.
Oof, it's going to be a deadly day.
No, it's going to be a crazy one.
One of us will die on the line.
It's going to be a deadly day. No, I think that's the game that all the Arsenal players, I think, are.
It's a 6-pointer, man.
Yeah, that's,
6-pointer.
That's the one that they're waiting for.
And I'll be honest, forget about the Southampton game.
You have to win it, though.
That's a must win.
Yeah.
It's a must win, but I think if you lost that game and beat Man City...
No, but then...
They've got games in hand as well.
Arsenal don't have to win. So if they beat Southampton, they don't have to win that game.
Yeah.
They just need to just make sure they don't lose.
I would say if you beat Man City, that would have to be the title decider.
Oh yeah. Ideally, yeah.
Even if you lost to Southampton, I think because the psychological effect, like I was saying in the last defeat to them in the league, the psychological damage from that is.
What, the Liverpool?
No, sorry, Man City when they beat Arsenal in the league. It's a chess war. It's a chess, isn't it? There's loads of battles in it, and I think the psychological damage from that battle and from the FA Cup as well, it's long lasting. So yeah, man. I'm excited, man. This is a good. I'm happy we had a title race because at one point it just looked like Arsenal were going to run away with the league, and from a neutral,
no, it never looked like that.
No, I think it did. I think it did, man. I think
Arsenal. They've only been 5 points clear all the time.
No. They were more than 5 points clear.
I think
it was 8 points, but then they had a game. Someone had the game in hand.
And at that time when they were 8 points clear, Man City were not in good form.
No, I don't think so. I think we might have been 8 points with equal games. I think we might have scuppered the.
Yeah.
I feel like we scuppered it.
No, because when Arsenal lost to Everton, Man City also lost the following game. So
and then that's when it became 5. I think.
That's what I'm saying. It's always been 5 with a game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. But even with the game on hand, I think the points gap has always been at point because, like I've always said, Arsenal have played the best season. I think up until recently, Arsenal have played the best football all season. My other team that I said was the second best have kind of like started growing a bit more, and I think Arsenal's complacency has like slowed them down.
Who's the other team you're talking about?
Brighton played the second best football in the league for me. So
apparently they're the second informed team. Outside of Man City.
Oh, okay, yeah, that will make sense then. So that's literally the best 3 footballing teams in the league. So I thought Arsenal had it personally, and it was theirs to lose, and it still is theirs to lose as well, man. So I'm impressed with like what Pep's done, man. Especially considering that they've changed the way they play, or they've had to kind of accommodate a new style of playing as well, man. So it's a transitional season for them. Add Jude Bellingham to that, which is what it's looking like.
Do you think Bellingham is a Pep player?
I don't think he's a Pep player, but I think Pep will take him so that no one else can have him.
I like how Pep always recycles these teams. Like so,
yeah, and he's shown that he's capable of changing his system as well. So.
Yeah. So just it keeps it fresh, and I think that's what's kept them so consistent as well, man. Like, I mean, there's no United fans on the panel, but it baffles me when I meet United fans that want City to win the title over Arsenal
because they live in London.
They do live in London, but they've got the record of, is it? I think that's a record. The only team to have won the Prem 3 times in a row, and City equal that if they win the Prem.
It's not a big deal when you
live in London.
When you live in London, and strive as your friend. You know what I mean? Like it's a lesser of two evils.
No, man, but this does not make no sense. And then City can also go on to win the treble. Like it don't make no sense. Everyone needs to get behind Arsenal.
Nah,
so Arsenal could do this.
What was interesting about the fixture though is just watching Tielemans and Maddison playing in the game. Maddison, glimpses of magic, but you think like where your clubs are, who your clubs need, and what's happening with Maddison. Because I haven't heard any like links to Tielemans or Maddison.
No, I think Newcastle
I personally wouldn't want
in January.
I think there's a player that Liverpool should be looking at options like Maddison, because we haven't had a lock picker since Coutinho. And you know when we play games like Bournemouth or when we lose to them, like that's the kind of thing where we're missing. Another person I think is without going too off topic is Eze. He hasn't been as consistent because of his injuries, but he is somebody who can unpick locks, I reckon.
Yeah,
no, he's a good player.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens with Tielemans and Maddison.
I was just surprised that no one came in for Tielemans in January.
Do you think people don't like him? Because I think he can be a bit inconsistent and he's not very mobile.
No,
but
I didn't want him at Arsenal.
You didn't want him at Arsenal. Not to play anchor or to be cover for Partey. I don't think he's too immobile for that.
I just didn't see. I'd have probably taken him as an 8 to cover Xhaka, but no, I didn't see the hype in him.
I like him. I just don't know if I'd have him. I think Jurgen Klopp can sometimes turn players into good players for their system, but I just can't see where we'd benefit from him at Liverpool.
Tielemans.
Yeah,
I don't see it either.
He's not dynamic enough.
No. Last week, I think everyone gave their predictions for the relegation. Was Leicester in yours?
Yes.
Was it yours?
I think I've backed them to maybe climb out of it. But they ain't won since February, man. They're trash, man. Fucking trash team. And if you remember, I said I wanted West Ham to go down as well, man. Yeah. I want them to go down even harder now. Stupid team.
I think I said I might have wanted West Ham to go down, but I think. No, we'll get onto this team anyway. Let me not ruin it.
Let's segue to that team now. You know about Chelsea?
No, Bournemouth.
Oh, you know about Bournemouth?
No, well, just I think I want Bournemouth to stay up.
Oh,
yeah, I want Bournemouth to stay up. Yeah, I feel like they deserve it.
Yeah, Neil Taylor's done a brilliant job there, man.
Yeah. Is it Neil Taylor? No, it's not Neil.
Gary O'Neill. That's it. Sorry.
I think Bournemouth caught my eyes from when they made it so tough for Arsenal.
Yeah. Dom Solanke has been bullying up top, man. But anyway, let the host us into it.
No, freestyle, man.
Cool. Listen, Arsenal's got them defeated, bro. The host ain't even trying to host no more. All right, so next on the agenda is... So we're moving to Tottenham.
Yeah,
Bournemouth.
Yeah. No, for real.
What a cracker.
Is it Tottenham?
Yeah, it was Tottenham Bournemouth.
What a cracker.
And who I think did Tottenham open up the scoring?
Yeah.
It was Son, innit?
Son, yeah.
So, yeah, man.
When is that? Was that game on Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I fell asleep, man.
They opened up the scoring, and then then from what I remember, Bournemouth then went ahead
2-1.
Yeah, and then they equalised, and then Bournemouth got a last minute.
Tottenham equalised in the 90th minute,
and then Bournemouth
89th minute, and then Bournemouth 90+5.
Yeah. That's what I remember. But
what I say as a host, let's wrap through this segment of Spurs and Bournemouth. Then talk top 4.
Yeah. All right. So what I'll just quickly say is that Sanchez got subbed on and subbed off. You know, I wanted to cry, bro. I wanted to cry, man, because
I felt for him.
Yeah, I just felt for my fellow black man. But when you saw his face, bro, it's like, man, is this where I've gotten to, bro? And I don't know if you've been like this at a job before, where you know shit's about to hit the fan on the right.
It's coming on you.
The writing's on the wall, and you know that you've not been doing your best at the job, so you're just planning your exit, and then already you're on Indeed, bro, searching for some new contract.
Well, while he's searching for his exit, so I think Richarlison needs to go court.
Oh, he thought he scored, you know? Do you see that?
Bro.
He thought he scored, bro. He's like, I'm in.
Wow, he's not got a Premier League goal yet.
No. He's got one Champions League goal. That's it.
He
might have scored in the FA Cup or something.
So why do you want to take him to court?
Bro, he's not scored a Premier League goal. Like, so imagine, we've had imagine how many people has kind of been ridiculed this season. Like, we've had a couple of Chelsea players, all of the new recruits for the Chelsea one.
Sancho got shot up. Nunez has been shot up in the
Modric.
Yeah,
Modric's been shot up.
And bro,
Anthony's been shot up loads as well, bro. He bangs a couple of goals as well.
And Anthony's made a bit of a resurgence. We'll probably talk about that shortly. But bruv, Richarlison has got away scotch-free, bruv. He's not scored a Premier League goal, bro. Whether you come to play back up to Kulusevski, Kane, Son, bro, you have not scored Bro, it's an abomination, bro. You was in the World Cup, you was playing with Big Brazil, doing Joga Bonita, and you've come to the Premier League to do what? Bro.
Yeah,
he needs to take the stand, bruv. He needs to take the stand. This is appalling, bro. And I'm surprised the media's not latched onto it too tough.
Usually you'd cast the club in it for a poor signature, but he did show promise.
Yeah,
so I can't even be mad.
I think he's actually a decent player.
I think he's a pest.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not.
He's like a better pest than Shane Long, because Shane Long is the pestiest of them all, bro. But I just say about Spurs, Daniel Levy needs to look at himself in the mirror, bro, man. Because, bro, why is this guy the manager of Tottenham? Why is he the caretaker? What's he here for, bro? because he's doing the exact same thing, or worse than what the guy.
But what was Levy meant to do there?
Why you sack, bro? Get rid of everybody, bro. Put Ryan Mason back in. Why is it? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's happening here, bro?
What would you take Ryan Mason? Though? Ryan Mason seems a bit.
Bro, I'm not taking any of them, bro. I'm saying, like, bro, why? Basically, this problem that Spurs are in now is Daniel Levy's fault. You've hired poorly, you've sacked poorly, you've not invested in the club.
No, but Conte had to go though.
I'm not saying that he should have gone. Yeah, just since
Poch.
No, who was even before? Martin, bro. Since Martin, bro. You've had a stinker since Martin, bro.
Done well with Poch. You shouldn't have sacked Poch, though.
Great hire, but then you sacked him, innit? Yeah, so like your signings have been poor. You've not invested in the club. So, and the worst thing about it is that I know he's going to hold Harry Kane hostage again, bro. He's going to hold him hostage. And only Kane is the biggest idiot out of everybody for even being in that position.
I agree.
That.
But if I was Spurs players, I'll be looking to my agent to get me out of that situation, man, because I don't see no promise for them or no way out of them, because they've had so many opportunities to build on what they've done. And in terms of Bournemouth, congratulations to Bournemouth, man. It's great performance.
I think Tottenham are just mad defensively poor. Like Porro was poor on the weekend as well. I swear he's like defensive laziness played a part in the first goal conceded. I think Romero was.
Bro. I don't know what they were doing in that corner, man.
Yeah, man. No, I don't. Tottenham, I don't know how they make top 4 at this point.
They're currently in top 4 position, though, right? Are they not?
No, I think they're 5th.
They're 5th. You're right.
They are 5th.
Man United 4th and Brighton are 3rd.
And I swear
Man United are 3rd. Newcastle 4th.
And I swear Tottenham's played the game more than both of them, haven't they?
They played 31.
They played 2 more than Liverpool.
Liverpool's still in it, yeah.
Mathematically, what's the point tallies?
Liverpool's
winning at the moment, right?
Yeah, 4-1.
Oh shit, 4-1.
So Liverpool have 47 points, Brighton 49, Villa 50, Spurs 53, Newcastle 56, United 59. But Brighton have played less games, 29 games.
How you reckon this top 4 is shaping up then? We spoke about this a few weeks ago, innit, when we had Bobby Wande on the
I don't know what we're playing for right now. I think we might be playing for what's the
Europa
Conference?
Right, conference 7th or
no? Conference is
8th, I think.
No, it's 8th.
Is it 8th?
Yeah.
So it's what 7th is Europa.
5th, 6th, 7th is Europa, depending upon FA Cup winner.
Yeah, and fair play or whatever that shit is.
Yeah.
Oh, Salah scored twice.
I think I might have gone above you in fantasy now.
Stay on track, guys.
Yeah, sorry. But I think again, I can't. Tottenham have just not had any consistency this season. They've picked up wins randomly, but they just don't have any consistency. So like them going Champions League, bro, would be the real outside bet, man.
Yeah, no, I don't think Tottenham's doing it, man.
So who you think will make the remaining 2 places?
I think United's going to do enough to get top 4. I think United's going to do enough to get top 4. And before I back to Liverpool to be in the top 4. But
replace them with Brighton, yeah?
No, I think I'm gonna give it to Newcastle.
Okay.
I think Newcastle's going to do it. They're not going to get nothing out of the Arsenal game, but out of all the other games, I think they can get some sort of response after their atrocious display against Villa.
Okay.
So yeah, man. What about you, Dedestrada? Have you given it much thought about the top 4? I don't think we asked you, have we?
Arsenal first.
Yeah, come on.
Man City.
Sorry, you didn't believe that. Come on. When he said come, he said, yeah, come on.
No, I didn't say that.
He said, come on.
No, it was like, come on.
But honestly, I think United will make it.
Yeah.
And just based on, I think it'll be United and Newcastle. I don't think Liverpool are going to do it.
Who's going to finish 3rd and 4th though?
I'll say United 3rd, Arsenal 4th. I mean, Newcastle 4th.
Newcastle 4th. Yeah, because I think it's a bit too. I think it's a bit too tight for Tottenham at the moment. Brighton. If Brighton win all their games in hand, that what puts them on 55, and then they're still just outside of the top 4, and United and Newcastle still have a game in hand as well. I think the top 4 is going to stay as is.
Speaking of Brighton, let's talk about Brighton and the Chelsea game. So what, Brighton won, what was it, 3-1?
No, 2-1 I think.
2-1.
Yeah.
Chelsea took the lead. I think it was undeserved, but after they took the lead, Brighton just dominated from there on in. And let's speak on, Jerry, I know you wanted to speak on it. Let's speak on Chelsea as a club. Where do we think we're heading? Because they are, they're not even in the top 10 right now.
I think was it J.K. Rowling that said, and rock bottom was the foundation I've built my life from. Yeah, I think things are going to get better from where they are. So it's going to get probably, I'd say, a bit worse because they've got, with all due respect, they've got a bad manager at the helm right now. So I can't see anything getting better towards the end of the season. Where things will start to get better is when they identify a manager to take a pre-season with the club and they start to strip all the dead weight at the club. I think Striver's always said this as well. The sacking of Potter was harsh because of the environment that he had to work in.
Yeah.
He had to work in with a club that had just spent a load of money on egos, a club that has a load of dead weight surplus players that are surplus to requirement, and he has to kind of manage that and then come on match day and then do a job. Now Lampard has the same challenge, but with, for me, lesser ability than Graham Potter. Mm-hmm. So I can't see that job going well at all. I think there was reports of Todd Bowley going into the dressing room as well, and I don't know if he spoke or said anything to critique the players, but Lampard's just kind of given a scathing review of the players in the press. Yeah,
he's saying that they're not physically able in comparison to the teams that he's played in.
Yeah.
But
you managed Everton, bro. What was your excuse for having them where they were?
He's got a 6% win rate. When I've spoken to Chelsea fans, and they were in support of this appointment, I don't understand it.
I think in his defence, he may be comparing the Chelsea team to current fitness to previous Chelsea teams.
Well, the one that he managed or the one that he played for?
I feel like it's the one that
previous. I think he plays for.
I think it's the one that he played for.
Bro, it's just, what's the point?
Yeah, I think he's just saying because what he was saying after the game is that Chelsea have quite a high standard and it's a bit embarrassing. He's just kind of like trying to talk in maintenance of the club as a level.
But bear in mind, some of the players were under him. Did he say that when he was managing them? And he managed them for 2 seasons.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kante didn't even play when he was under him, so probably...
No, Lampard's a joke, man. In his last 10 league games as Chelsea manager, he's only won twice. He's lost 7, he's drawn once, conceded 15, scored 9. Like, that's a poor record. In his last 17 games as a manager, full stop, he's won 1 game, drawn twice, lost 14 times.
So why do you think he was given this job?
I don't know. I wish I had the answers. I've been asking anybody that would listen.
I think it's because you guys have heard the stuff about the Harry Potter and all that kind of stuff and the childish stuff. So they were calling Graham Potter Harry Potter and Hogwarts behind his back. So I think as soon as
the players,
yeah. And as soon as word has gotten up to Bowley,
this is serious?
No, this is 100% serious. Yeah.
Oh wow!
As soon as word has gotten to Bowley, he's seen that the Potter's lost the respect of the players and lost the dressing room. So I think we can't get a manager in. We definitely have to get rid of Potter because he can't handle the club.
What do you think? All the players were doing that though.
Not all the players. Obviously, Kante is not.
The ones that are being rude. I'm like, in my tenure when I was a manager at Belmont, I'll never forget. There was one time we didn't even lose the game. I made a decision to be a player manager that day, and I put myself on instead of one of the players, and then we got a decent result out of it. And then I remember when I walked into the dressing room, like literally everyone was just talking. Like when from the outside you could just hear everyone just chatting, murmuring. As soon as I walked in, he just went down like. I was like, oh, so these These mother effers to talk about me.
Yeah, you lost the dressing room, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man, I went wild. I probably shouldn't have, but I was like, yeah, what are you saying? What's everyone saying? And I addressed it head on. And moving forward, I had a long conversation with my assistant manager, a couple of my senior players, and I demanded my respect by making changes to let them know who the boss is going to be. I think that you don't have to. I still think even in that moment, that is if what you're saying is true, that is good reason to maybe get rid of somebody if they've completely lost the club. But you can't have lost the whole dressing room is the point I'm trying to make. And I think you can still get by with decisive action. And even if he did what Lampard's doing now, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're not going to get relegated.
I think the thing is that Todd Bowley just probably didn't have faith in
but what's the worst?
Bringing it back.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Are you going to get relegated?
No, nothing. But it's like at the same time, you still want to be able to like steer your ship in the best way. And Todd Bowley is where he is for a reason because he probably has decent management skills in it.
But he doesn't understand football.
But I'm sure he's experienced in steering ships in it. So if there's like a mutiny, because that's technically what it is when like you've lost your team, and it depends on what percentage he's lost. If he's lost like 70% of the team and it's only your Kantes and your Badishilis or whatever that are just still got faith in Potter, it's still an untenable position. The Black Africans, the French Africans, but it's still an untenable position. So I think now Bowley's like probably gone, I don't know what to do. This isn't my sport. What can we do? Can we get somebody who has respect? And they probably do, even though Lampard was dead, they probably do have respect for him because he was a player. But sometimes Potter, when your CV as a player, as a foot player, and you're a manager, isn't that good, some people don't respect you. So like, for example, loads of players have loads of respect for Zidane. I don't think he's the best manager, but he can probably get on the pitch and motivate the players because he's been there and done it at the top, innit? Some players can do that. And then some managers have that experience and they're shit. Maybe Lampard is an example of that. I don't want to keep on saying this shit, but so I think that would be my
your justification.
Guess, my guess for them getting rid of Potter and bringing in Lampard, who for 100% they don't see being there next season.
But I heard today that Luis Enrique said he was ready to take the job. So he would have been a better gamble than giving him the job than at least letting go through pre-season and then see what happens next season. Or better yet, you're not going to get relegated. You're not going to make Europe now. Leave Potter in charge. Let him do his pre-season.
That's what
he brought how many players in?
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying some players may have.
No, I think that's the right thing to have done is to. Because he hasn't had a pre-season, bro. No. He hasn't had a chance to kind of stamp his mark on the team. And he got in there and he was like floundering, bro, because everybody was drowning when they got in that club, especially even Todd Bowley as well.
Yeah, but to hear what Dennis Estrada just said, that Luis Enrique's come out and said that... sorry, guys. I
don't think he's the guy, you know. I personally, I don't want to see that guy in the Premier League.
Yeah, but you've always had something against Enrique.
Yeah, I think he's overrated.
But,
I think he's overrated.
You rather have Lampard?
Yeah, I would rather,
you know.
No, but if Luis Enrique's coming as a temp, then I'll take Lampard as a temp over Enrique. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, bro. Because like you said, there's nothing to lose, and we just need somebody. We just need boots in the position.
I don't think Enrique would have taken it if you just given him manager for 10 games.
That's what I'm saying. I would take Lampard as a temp over Enrique as a long time. Yeah. If I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't want Enrique at my team. But I don't like him. I don't like Lampard either.
I've spoken to a couple of Chelsea fans who I think share your that viewpoint where they would take Lampard in and they were happy just to see the back of Graham Potter. Pause. Do you think, given the opportunity to answer now, do you think they would still share that same stance?
I don't think so. Because when I watched Chelsea, they played well. They just couldn't score. Similar to Potter at Brighton.
Yeah.
Now under Lampard, bro, they don't play well. They don't seem like scoring. It's just they've gone backwards. So you should just kept him in place. And even what you're saying about maybe he lost the dressing room, but if there's about 40 man in my team, call them out and then tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, man.
Especially if it's the old ones as well. I don't think it's the new ones. The new ones...
Trust me, 100%.
Bro, listen, and I think that's where he's fucked up, Potter, personally. I think...
Bowley.
Potter, sorry, because obviously, even though he's giving you a difficult task, bro, you still have to show your leadership skills, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you say, like Ziyech, your deal hasn't gone through. I don't really want you in my team. You need to go and train with the academy boys, bro. All these other guys who are
but he did that with Aubameyang.
Yeah, no, exactly. You've done it with Aubameyang, but
that one, did that make sense to you? Because you haven't got a striker, and everyone.
Aubameyang's not playing now.
No, but hang on, though. But I'm saying, like, he's done that with Aubameyang.
They're still not winning, and they're still not scoring.
He's done that with Orba. Find out who these people are that are chatting shit to you, bro. Like, if it's Mason Mount, because I think Mason Mount is not signing a contract. If it's him, send him where he needs to go, bro. Like, you need to like stamp your authority. If you're gonna go out as a fucking dictator, bro. Don't go out as a fucking
man.
Do you know what I mean? Like as a people's champ, bro.
Channel your Gaddafi and Mugabe.
Come on, man.
I respect.
Yeah, if you're gonna go, do it your way, innit? That's the most important thing.
Hey, man. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, but Chelsea they mean nothing to the Premier League this season.
So yeah, the gods are shining in favour. Luis Diaz is coming on for his first appearance.
How long left?
10 minutes, and this is going to be the first time we see him playing properly with Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, but sorry not to stray too much, host. Yeah, but has Salah done something again? Because I keep getting messages from this fucking dickhead.
He got a hat trick.
He scored again.
I think he might have. I don't know. I switched off at 4-1.
What? So what's the score now?
5-1.
Fuck's sake. Man.
Well, you've got him in your team.
No, I haven't. But I've got a bet with one guy, and he's chasing me in it. And we got a bet from FPL, and the only player that was left to play was Salah. And I just didn't think Salah was going to do much today, and it seems like he's...
What's your point total this week?
I didn't look after Saka missed the penalty, because I know that would have got me a -2 points, I think.
Oh, you got him in your team?
Yeah, he's in my team still. What's your sort of... You were slow, I think I went above you, and then I started to leave you a little bit, but what have you...
I don't even know, man.
Oh man, geez, it's just not going to be a good week. so podcast pundit listeners, man, listen.
I've got 53 points so far.
53. What have I got?
You have.
Sorry, Jota got 2, Salah got 2, and Hakpo got 1.
Okay, cool. Okay. So
you've got 52.
52. Okay, it's not the worst. I think this particular person's probably got maybe around about 65 if I'm calculating these points properly in my mind.
Joey, you got 34
out of
this week.
Well, but that's about to be another 20 because Salah's my captain.
Bruv, you see, bruv, you need to pay me my money, bruv.
No, bro. If there's one thing I do is not pay bets, not pay my debts. Ask the bailiff. But
on Chelsea, do we want to talk about the midweek game against Real Madrid? Hang on, yes, at home, right?
I feel sorry for them, man.
Wow.
You know what?
Because it's not going to be fun.
Is it tomorrow or Wednesday?
It's I think it's tomorrow. I think it is tomorrow. Yeah.
So what? They're 2-0 down.
They can't score a goal.
They can't score a goal. Who was it that got suspended?
Chilwell.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
See, well, you know what? Their only saving grace is if they pull out some sort of magic, because that was 2-0 away from home, Stamford Bridge.
Away goals don't count though.
I know it don't count at all. But I'm just thinking at Stamford Bridge. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd have a shred of hope that they can do something. Early goal. You know, when you're 2-0 up, even in a 90-minute game, yeah, that's an uncomfortable scoreline. So 2-0 up over 2 legs, it's still an uncomfortable scoreline, man. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be. I mean, you've got no other choice but to be hopeful. That's what you brought Lampard in for. But no, if you were to ask me, I do expect Real Madrid to dispatch them. I think they might even get clean sheeted, man. I think it might be a 5-0 aggregate. Personally, but yeah, man, that's what I think personally. Just I don't rate Chelsea. I think they're going to get battered like 3-0 or something.
Real Madrid.
I don't think Real Madrid are even going to bother, bro. I think they're just going to win 1-0 and then just go about their business.
We're saying a Real Madrid Man City final. These are the semis, right, or quarters?
No,
quarters.
Is it?
Yeah, quarters. So it's the last 8.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, it is actually
Last 8.
because the two Milans are still in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But sorry, just quickly before Champions League, shout out Brighton, man. Shout out Enciso. That goal.
Oh yeah. Indeed.
Was exquisite. Shout out Toma. Another dribbling masterclass. Shout out Danny Welbeck as well, man. Fucking hell. That's enough.
Do you want to do your back pages, mate?
No. Shout out Deserving.
That goal was sick, though. That goal was sick, man. Worthy winner.
It's scary, bro, man. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. This was an interesting podcast today. Not because we were without two of the usual casts, but yeah, man, it's just been a long day, man. But before we go, as usual, let's do our back pages. You know, this is where we give we shine some light on some players, managers, and teams across Europe that we feel they deserved some mention. I'm going to go first because I only have one. I think if I don't say it, Joey's going to say it. Yeah, mine's hashtag United for getting promoted.
Oh, man.
Joey?
Mine's PK Humble. So for getting hashtag promoted. No, mine's actually the whole of Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah.
Emery, brilliant.
Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. I mean, I've given Watkins a bit of stick this season because I think he's been underperforming, but he's come alive at the right time. Probably was it the Arsenal game he got a goal.
Did Watkins go against Arsenal? Potentially.
He probably did.
I think since the Arsenal game he's kind of come into a bit of form, and I don't know. Did you guys see his assist? That header.
Yeah, the little header.
Bro, the header was so clean, bro, man. He was jumping backwards.
Yeah, jumping backwards.
Just to his neck. Yeah. Put it down on the plate for Jacob Ramsey. Quality, bro.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So, yeah, it's one of the best performances I've seen. Moreno played great. Ramsey played great. And what's the Scottish guy, bro? That guy's a beast, man. Bro, the way he just like henches people with his legs, bro, it's nuts, bro. It's actually pause, but it's actually nuts. Like this guy he's actually like a bit formidable guy. So yeah, well done Aston Villa, well done Emery, man, showing Arsenal what they're missing.
Yeah, before I move to strikers, what do you think of Watkins as a striker? Do you rate him?
So we were having a debate in our group. We're having whether who's better at him and Callum Wilson.
I'm saying that's cool. I'm saying Watkins though.
So
because some people take Watkins at Arsenal.
Yeah, I've been following Watkins since actually because I used to play with him on FIFA since his Exeter days, and he was sick at Exeter, sick at Brentford.
Because Tony replaced him at Brentford, didn't he?
Yeah. It's been decent at Aston Villa. Started off well, went through a bit dead during Gerrard days, and has come back again. One thing I like about him is that he can play out wide and can play in the middle, but I think there's more to his game than Callum Wilson. So he's just slightly better than Callum Wilson for me.
Yeah, I like Watkins. Watkins was going to be my back pages, so I was pissed off when you said the whole of Aston Villa and then started talking about Watkins. But I guess my back pages is just going to have to go to the next deserving person, which was Julio Enciso, the guy who scored a banger against Brighton. I mean, for Brighton against Chelsea. And he gave me further calls to holler at fuck Kwesi. Also known as Kwesi. And yeah, man, I can't wait to get that guy back on the podcast because he's got a lot to answer for.
Our resident Chelsea supporter.
Every time I've tried to ask him in the groups, he's evaded my questions. But yeah, man. So now Julian Cisco, he gets the back pages, man. That was a goal to be reckoned with, and it was a crowning goal for a crowning performance against a trash Chelsea team.
Fofana, bro, man. Fofana, Reece James got burnt out when he came on as well, man. It's crazy, bro. These are players that everybody had high hopes for, and I don't personally see it as an indictment on them. I just think they're just in a bad situation, man.
Yeah, Chelsea are a bad team right now,
and that's why I think we do need to give Trent some slack because we're seeing that when your teams are being shit, it can bring down the performance.
How did we get to start talking about Trent right now?
Because no one's apologised to him, but no one's given Reece James the same stick that he should be.
Reece James hasn't been as bad as Trent.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I think Vinicius might say...
Yeah, one game.
Because when Vinicius done Trent, everybody was writing back pages. When he done Reece James, silence. Only Vinicius was the one.
How many other players have done Trent this season? Huh? How many other players have done Trent this season?
That's not even
true.
true.
Who's also done Reece James too.
Yeah, but that's not even true, man. Vinicius done enough back pages for the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, nobody else did it, so he said, "Okay, well, I'm going to do it."
Bro, that Instagram post was so rude, bro.
Was that real?
Bro, I think it was real, bro. If you go on his page, you'll see.
Hey, what? Darwin Nunez just came and slapped a goal. Easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
what are you saying? You owe that guy. You owe him money now.
So,
Yeah?
no, like, what, it's equal now. Is it? Is VAR looking at it?
VAR.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Disallow
He's
that
on.
shit.
You know, he's on still.
Disallow that shit, man.
All right, cool. Guys, on that note, thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for listening with us. We'll be back again next week. Over and out.
Come on.
Well done, boys.
Yo, Straz here. Just punching back in because Del Estrada actually forgot to bring up the United game, actually. And I just thought, you know what, it'd be a disservice to our listeners to not touch in on it. But some of the boys, the boys have already left. But yeah, obviously United played Nottingham Forest away from home, which isn't the easiest ground to go to, and especially off the back of their disappointment when they played Sevilla midweek in the Europa competition, kind of giving away a 2-goal lead, and obviously ended that game 2-2, which is a bit of a sucker punch because I don't think United's ever beaten Sevilla actually. So yeah, that was a really good and bright start for them in that game, and it looked like it was going to be happy days, and they were going to progress. I think that would have put them into the semis as well. So, well, put one foot into the semis. So yeah, that was a disappointing day for them, especially where there was a bit of a nasty injury to Martinez. It did have me feeling it had me feeling sorry for him actually, man. It looked like it was an ACL. I think they've reported it as a metatarsal injury or something like that. So we'll see how they get on. I think when are they playing the return fixture? I think it might be this week they're playing it. So yeah, coming off the back of that and that momentum, literally they've got so many players missing now. So Martinez isn't available, Varane isn't available, Shaw wasn't available, Rashford wasn't available. Yeah, quite a few players missing. So going into the game against Nottingham Forest away from home, probably is a game you might expect United to get some points from, but it wasn't a straightforward fixture the way I looked at it. But yeah, United eventually they made pretty good and easy work of it. To be honest, United look very bright. Martial, he's if Martial can stay fit, play 90 minutes every game, they've got a player there, man. They've got a player there. This Wild Workhorse wouldn't even be sniffing the pitch because I think the podcast has made it known how we feel about that appointment. Yep, he drops in, he helps build the play or what have you not. But I mean, your striker gets paid to score goals, and I don't believe he's even done. Has he scored a Premier League goal? I feel like he hasn't. But you know, Martial's he's quite bright. The thing is, what I will say about Martial though, or not even about Martial, but the rest of the players around him. When Martial is pressing, so what Martial might do, if he loses the ball, you'll see Martial's aggressive with the press, but he's doing it by himself more so. The players aren't pressing with him. I think if United improved that'll just increase their intensity a lot more as well. But yeah, like Martial was on it. Bruno Fernandes was having like a great game. That he was testing is it Keylor Navas? Navas had a great game. Like I felt if he was probably Nottingham Forest's player of the game, the amount of saves he was forced to make, but that was namely because of Bruno Fernandes. He was popping them from everywhere. I think there was a time where he hit it from the corner of the box and hit the post, when Navas had to tip it onto the post. Fernandes was on fire. But one player of note that I think needs some kudos was Anthony, because Anthony's come under a lot of criticism this season, which is quite funny because there's a few players that have come under criticism. I think we touched on it. I touched on it. Richarlison kind of getting away with it, to be honest. Mudryk has come under some criticism, and yeah, Anthony has. And sometimes even when you think about it, Anthony, he's coming from the Eredivisie. I probably butchered that name. Obviously coming from Ajax into the Premier League, and considering that, he's done okay considering. I mean, for me personally, I always used to take the mick of him doing that stupid 360 or I don't know, is it a 720 turn where he's basically not doing anything, and sometimes his skills amount to nothing. But yeah, what I saw in this game is he actually seemed quite direct. He was linking up very well, and like this is what I always give Saka a lot of compliments over. Like Saka sometimes is the most extraordinary. I say sometimes, more than sometimes, the most extraordinary, ordinary player, because he doesn't do too many twinkle toes, too many unnecessary skills, but he's just a very effective dribbler with high footballing IQ. And that's something that Anthony looked like he lacked. But in this game, he actually showed that there's improvements that he's made and making, and hopefully that could be something for United fans to be excited about, because that's the way that he was dribbling, cutting through, breaking lines, even the little slip pass that he played for Dallow's goal. Yeah, man, it was a lot to be excited about. And speaking of Dallow as well, he's a right-footed. He played as a right-footed left back. Obviously, he normally plays right back, but you had AWB there, who's been pretty consistent. And yeah, Dallow came in. He was kind of doing the inverted thing. Seems like that's the new trend. And Dallow was also had quite a decent game. He was pressing forward, cutting in, taking shots, just giving Nottingham Forest quite a bit to think about. And obviously he got his goal, man. So yeah, it was a spirited performance from Manchester United with a lot of players missing. I think the last minute decision to start Eriksen, he looked like Fred was going to start, but I think Ten Hag must have just changed his mind last minute. I think that was a good shout as well, because what was the midfield? Was it Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen? Yeah, man. I think with Eriksen back in the team, and starting his first. I think that's his first game since injury, what have you. You could see the difference. You could see the difference and how it evolves Manchester United's forward play as well. Nothing away from Sabitzer, because he done well, especially against Sevilla. Well, I think he even picked up a little bit of an injury. I think, did he? Bit of a knock. So yeah, United were missing quite a couple of guys. But yeah, it was good to see Eriksen back and affecting the play in a positive way, and just a lot for United to look forward to, man. So yeah, Maguire. Maguire though. Well, I was about to sign off, but I can't sign off without touching on Maguire, man. He was having a disaster class, wasn't he? Bloody hell. As he passed to the advertising, the signage boards. He passed to the signage boards early doors. I think he picked up a yellow. Could have potentially picked up a second yellow, because there was a penalty shout where I know Steve Cooper felt aggrieved by that. But I mean, it's hard to know what the rules are nowadays when it comes to handballs, because there's just no consistency. So some might argue the Maguire incident was similar to the Pulisic incident at Tottenham, but actually I would probably more so compare it to the penalty that Arsenal got against West Ham when Antonio wasn't even really looking and the ball hit his hand. I think that's why Joey Nomadic said that it was a bit of a soft penalty, because he wasn't even looking, it hit his hand. But by the letter of the law, that's a handball. And if we are following that same letter of the law, then that also was a handball that Maguire committed, and Nottingham Forest should have had a penalty. So I can understand Steve Cooper's grievance, but outside of that incident, Nottingham Forest didn't have anything really to shout about. I think Awoniyi had a snapshot when Dallow kind of overhit the ball in his box, and then I think Danilo had a bit of a chance, and that was it. I think there was a time when Nottingham Forest might have hit the post from a corner, but I think that even came off the player's hand as well. So yeah, it was a dominant performance from United, and yeah, man, I think that firmly probably that puts them in a top 4 position. and obviously I'm sure they'll be vying for third place. I know Drayman thinks they'll finish fourth, and it's still up for grabs, third and fourth. But yeah, I think top four is safe for United now. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to touch on that. Couldn't sign out the podcast without doing that. So unfortunately, it's not more of a discussion, just more of a bit of a monologue from myself. But yeah, man, we'll see y'all next week.